So this right here, in between the wheels here, it's one big magnet, and then there's also a magnet back here. The machine can only drive up or back down, or it can run horizontal. You cannot take the machine, drive it up, turn it around, and drive down, because the simple fact is the hoses will pull the machine off the substrate. If you look at right in here, there's a sensor here, and that's reading. It's a magnetic. It's a for metal surface.
Okay,
so, yep.
So how do you take it down? Okay, you turn it that way. All right, now you can move over this way.
Sure, I can back up. I can go this way.
And then you go up and down?
Yep. The reason is, so I'm gonna just go this way again, and then I'm gonna raise it up. I want you to try to pull this thing off of here. No, pull it back. Just pull it straight off. No, I'm going to show you why. Okay, you're not going to be able to pull it this way, but to get it off the substrate, you have to have a reason. So you have to peel it, and that's why there's a small magnet here to keep it attached, but otherwise you wouldn't be able to get it off. So, and that's the full reason why you can't drive it down, because the hoses have enough weight, it'll actually peel it off. But you're not going to peel it off in this direction or if you go horizontal. So, here. This is no different than going like this, and then let's just say I want it, yep. So then I can blast this way. And then, but if I want to come back down, I'm going to have to go this direction to come back down, and then here. So then another thing is, like, right. So another thing is, let's just say I wanted the blast all the way down, because obviously the machine, because of your hoses, you're not be able to. What I can do is spin this head on here. So basically, I can loosen these 4 bolts up, turn the head even 10 degrees. You're going to blast here, and then you're also going to blast out onto the concrete. I can, if you're on the inside of a tank, I actually can blast over a foot into on that and get that weld. Yep. Like I said, there's only 3 12-volt motors out here. So 2 of them are for your drive, the other one's for your swing arm. So this is. I can control my speed, and everything's all is wireless, and so is the pump on here. That actually is my dead man switch. Okay. So I can turn on when I have everything running. Everything's on here. Yep. If my pump is on, I'm going to turn this off for a minute. I will not be able to. I can't open this up and down or move it up and down if the pump is on. Okay. Just so you know what I mean. So if when you're running it and you have a skipper, you might have to stop, you know what I mean? Right. You gotta be out before you move it. Right. Another thing on here, there's 2 proximity switches. So what happens is, as you can see before that it was swinging back and forth, when this metal hits the proximity switch, it's gonna go in the other direction. And that also controls when the machine moves. So let's just say I'm gonna be blasting now. I want this thing to be consistent when it's moving forward. So I'm going to just switch it here. So now it only moves when it hits a proximity switch. And I can adjust how far it moves. See, it hit a switch, move forward. And now it'll stay here until it hits this switch, move forward. So, and I can adjust that here. I'll just go like there. It jumps up by itself when it hits that switch. Right. So now I just moved it. So now it'll go long, you know what I mean? But so all that is set up when you originally do the setup. So when you put this on the tank, within a half hour, you're gonna overblast and pull the machine back a little bit, just like you would hand blasting. There's no difference in this machine hand blasting than on the machine. It's the same hoses, same nozzles, but you got consistency with this thing. You're not getting tired. You're not turning the dead man off or anything when you're moving. Everything you can keep it on at all times. Okay, to be honest with you, all it is, there you go. So I can control my speed here for my swing arm.
Right. How did it move up?
It actually was moving up. The only thing is, it only moves when it hits a switch. So that's why I was cranking on this, so it move a little bit farther up. Because that's, basically it's a distance. So it'll move that speed for 0.5 seconds.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or I turn it all the way down to 0 speed and it'll move that for 1 second. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this is this timer and this is the speed of it.
That makes it.
Yep, you gotta hold this on at all times. So you
Okay.
can't just start it and it won't just travel. You have to be holding it.
Hold that. Okay.
Yep,
All right.
yep.
Okay.
Anything over 35 to 40 feet tall, we're going to use the winch system. And that winch system, what it does is it acts as 2 points. One, if the machine somehow would come away from the substrate, it'll catch it, but also pull the hoses up. Because the tires on the machine, it'll crawl up there, but it's not going to pull 60 feet of number 1.5 inch hose up the wall as well. It'll start slipping. So we're going to use the winch system, pull the hose up. There's going to be slack in the hose, but it acts as two parts. This umbilical cord, there's 26 wires in this umbilical cord, but there's only 12 volts going out there. So if you would run it over with a forklift, you're not going to get electrocuted. Nobody's going to get hurt. It's only 12 volts, just like a regular dead man. The unit itself runs off at, like I said before, 240 volts. 7,000 generator will run this unit. So now what we did is we made containers. We have 4 units where we put out on rental. So we started making these containers. We're going to supply a generator. This unit, the VertiDrive will run off of, it's 240 single phase power. Even though you only have 12 volts going out to the machine, the winch system and everything on the VertiDrives needs 240 volts. So we're supplying a generator, we're supplying spare parts. There's actually couplings in here. There's Terra valves in here, micro Thompson valves in here. There's also spare parts for the VertiDrive and all that, and all electrical stuff. This is for the swing arm on the VertiDrive. There are hypers in here, and these are Ultra Toughs. We do stock 3 7s of each and 2 8s of each, because that's what the VertiDrive is capable of running. So if a blast pocket was down, we're not down. I don't care if it's the owner's blast pot or our blast pot. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna get up and running. So basically, every time the machine goes out, the VertiDrive sits in here. The winch system will go through, sits in here. Everything comes as a complete package.